What do you know? We are back for more donuts. Hey, we're back for more donuts. I know everybody. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We're excited for these as much as you guys are. We got Justin from Driftless. He's taking care of some technical issues right now, but we'll get him back into here in a minute, and we'll let him kind of chat a little bit about not only himself but some of the things going on with Driftless and all of that. But more importantly, Robin to Batman here. How you doing there, Robin?
Oh, you just said Robin to Batman.
I'm running the show tonight, so I'll be Batman tonight. Okay.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait, man. Anytime we get a chance to pick some more Driftless Glens, I think for the group, it's become kind of an annual thing. And we're gonna keep going until we have 13 distinct donuts for everybody. I think it's hilarious that I list all the like tonight in the Patreon. I'm like, hey guys, we're picking a couple more donuts tonight. I got like all the cops, all the cops that are patrons are just like, he's like, I hate to say it, these might be my favorite, maybe because I'm a cop. I don't know why, but I love the donuts.
They become a little bit of a cult favorite, that's for sure, and for good reasons. I mean, it's fantastic whiskey, and it's nice. I mean, being in the state of Wisconsin, it's nice to see Driftless get some serious recognition, and other people outside of the state finally figuring out what it is that they've got going on. So tonight we've got before we bring Justin on, we've got 6 samples, 3 bourbons, 3 ryes. All the ryes over 7 years. Bourbons, we've got 2 5s and 1 7, and we'll go through these. So we've got some of their oldest stuff, which was awesome that Justin sent that stuff over to us. So we're looking forward to getting into these. So
not only new donuts, but rare and old donuts.
Yes, rare and old. Yeah, it's the complete opposite of what you want in a real donut.
Yeah, we don't want fresh, we want new and old. We want stale old donuts with a lot of old donuts.
Exactly. It's a little, we're throwing a little bit of a twist on these donuts, but trust us, these are ones you guys are gonna want, that's for sure. But let me bring on the man, the myth, the legend here, Mr. Sharpee. How are you, sir? You got that AC figured out?
Yep. I got the AC cranking. Girlfriend left town for the week, and she probably wanted to save some couple bucks while she's in the air conditioning, and cranked the thermostat up to 72 on me. And I couldn't figure out why my home office / guest room felt like I should be taking a sauna. So.
Well, hopefully we'll select a couple barrels tonight, help you pay for a little extra AC usage.
I appreciate that.
You got it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me back.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Like we were threatening you before we went live that this isn't going to be the last time you see us. We got a lot of donuts ahead of us, so stay tight with us. So
hey, now I know where you live, Scott. So
yeah, that's true. You feel free to drop off any other future donuts anytime you need. So
yeah, absolutely. Yep. I just happen to be out in that Delafield area.
Good.
Yeah, we want to just real quick say hi to a couple of folks that are tuning in here. A couple of patrons. William Wiley, he apparently wants a Boston cream donut. We'll see what we taste tonight, buddy. Sugar Kitty's here. Nathan Jurgensen, Truman, Jeffrey Yankovic, Ham Turkey, Todd Ritter, Doug H, OH in the house. What's going on? Oishin, Honest Charlie, JG, Sugar Kitty, Greg D, Jeffrey Wax here, Deathless Dogs. Deathless Dogs also out of Wisconsin. Nice to see you, Dan. Tim Cornet, Sugar Kitty, Chris Luddig is here. Chris, I know Chris is a huge fan of Driftless. So Adam Dorman's here, Ham Turkey. Everyone's getting excited for the donuts. So
excited for the time to make the donuts, right? Time to make the donuts. So, all right. So we got our stuff poured. Before we do that, hey, Justin, why don't you, for anybody who's kind of new and trying to still figure out the donut game, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and kind of what's going on with Driftless these days.
Yeah, absolutely. So Justin Sharpee, technically sales manager for Driftless Glen. So most of my days are consumed by putting miles on the old car and staring out the windshield and pounding the pavement, right? And I've been with Driftless for almost 6.5 years now. So Man, it seems like yesterday, honestly, that we launched our 2-year-old bourbon. Because I was there when I started about a month before we launched that. And I don't know where the last 6.5 years went, to be honest with you.
I hear you.
I'm glad I still have my hair. I have more gray than I did 6 years ago, but it's been one hell of a journey. And obviously, thanks to, our owners, Brian and Renee. So we are owned by a husband and wife team, and our property is located right on the banks of the Baraboo River in the Driftless region, right in Baraboo, Wisconsin. So that's one of the main reasons we landed in Baraboo, of course, was the water quality. So when Brian and Renee set out on this adventure, we'll call it probably 10 years ago when they started planning, and we've been around for 8.5 now. So yes, for those of you out there with your calculators, we're getting very close to having a 10-year-old bourbon and rye in our grips. So that will be a really exciting year. But so Baraboo has some of the best water quality that they found in the state when they're kind of scouting locations. Of course, being just next door to the Wisconsin Dells doesn't hurt from a traffic flow piece. But we also wanted to be close enough to a major metro area like Madison, right? We didn't want to build this downtown Madison or anything like that. We wanted to create kind of a destination. So that's why, again, right, you guys have been up there. We have a full bar, full restaurant, obviously full operating distillery. We have never sourced. We will never source. Brian and Renee chose to do this all the hard way, right? And the expensive way. So when you sit there and wait 2 whole years to then release, right, admittingly a younger-ish bourbon, it ain't cheap. So it's been one hell of a journey. We run a 44-foot Vendome column still on property. On top of that, we run a 550 Vendome pot. And then we also run a 350-gallon stainless that we run our gins and vodkas on. So, again, one of the larger rigs, as you guys know, in the true craft game is what I consider us. And when I say true craft, we don't have any outside funding, any silent partners, or any big bucks, getting infused into the business. This is 110% Brian and Renee Bemis. So their backgrounds, where Brian owned a number of car dealerships down in the Sycamore DeKalb area. So if anybody out there has ever seen Brian Bemis Auto Group, that's Brian. He recently sold all of his dealerships, however, and still has his Toyota dealership in DeKalb, which his daughter runs. And then Renee's background, she's a very accomplished sculptor and artist. When I say sculptor, I don't mean just little clay trinkets, like life-size sculptures. So she did some work at the War Dog Memorial in Charleston, South Carolina, and some other pieces around the country. So a lot of her efforts typically are in the direction of fire, police, our armed forces. Obviously, all of us up at Driftless Glen are huge supporters and thank all of them for their service. So we've done some really neat things with, we just did a barrel pick actually this year with the Air Refueling Wing in Milwaukee. And we donated a couple bucks for every bottle that they purchased towards the Airmen and Women Foundation of the Milwaukee area to help struggling military families. And they were nice enough to invite me down and let me hop in the Boeing simulator and crawl around on a big refueling jet. And it was quite the thing. So we appreciate everything those folks do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But that's kind of the elevator spiel there. But I'm sure other things will come to me. For those wondering, we're only on 53-gallon barrels now, right? That's a question as well. Are you guys still using the smaller ones? We haven't filled anything under 53 in well over, 5 years now, 6 years now. So everything we have, we're all out of those 30s and 25s. They're gone, never to be seen again. And then, like I was telling you guys offline before we hopped on, we do have a number of 59-gallon barrels that's the honey hole for us. That's what we're saving all of our 10-year juice for. So
Interesting.
Should be pretty exciting. And we use a number of different cooperages. Everything you guys have here tonight should be out of a Kelvin cooperage barrel. Giving age statements on those, but we started off using Kelvins, then we used Zach cooperage out of Kentucky, and for the last couple of years, we started using a new cooperage out of Missouri called the Oak.
So why 59 gallon to go up to the 10-year, or is that a master distiller question?
That's probably more of a Nathan, our head distiller. Sorry, didn't mean to forget those guys, right? He makes my life a lot easier. So Nathan's our head distiller. We also, if anybody out there has seen Bottled by Casey, We promoted Casey from the bottling warehouse to warehouse manager. So he oversees our warehouse operations and bottling and all that fun stuff. And we promoted Angelica. So you guys have most likely seen bottles out there now that shifted from bottled by Casey to bottled by Angelica. However, we realized that, well, Angelica is going to be the only one in there for the next couple of years probably. So we're unfortunately removing the portion that says bottled by. So your guys' barrel picks may very well just have we're going back to a specific age statement on our single barrels as well, which I'm looking forward to. The current ones just say 5 years plus, right? And when you're dealing, a lot of those consumers, man, they care if it's 7 or if it's 5.
Yeah.
And when you're just seeing 5+, we decided to go back to the old days, like when we first started. So, and then we have Abby who runs the operations and Bethany who runs the marketing, and I'm in the streets. That's our entire distilling team. And then Brian and Renee oh God, what happened?
So Justin, before we dive into these, one question I had, what's one thing that you think you've heard about Driftless Glen? Not so much the distillery or the experience, which is amazing, by the way. If you guys have never made it up to Bugaboo, Wisconsin, I'm sorry, Baraboo, Wisconsin. The entire staff there, the food, everything's incredible. Just the scenery over there. It's a beautiful place to visit if nobody's ever been out there. But just being out there and talking to folks from when you first started, you said you've been there, a good amount of time, like time has flew by, but over the course of those years that you've been working with Driftless Glen, what are some of the things that you're hearing lately as far as whether it be the quality of the whiskey or the favorite things about the whiskey that have evolved from when you first started to what you're hearing now?
Well, I think most of us would say, right, when you first start out, a lot of people, I heard this is young about 10,000 times a day. Right? And that got magnified as when I first started, I was covering Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa. And then I flexed back into just Wisconsin. We opted to hire a broker to manage those other states. However, we just parted ways with them. So now I'm back to living on the road again. Which I'm excited about. We have full control of our distillery again, which is nice. But I think the biggest thing I've heard from the hardcore enthusiasts, of course, is, wow, has this progressed nicely? Or people that maybe didn't give me a shot 5 years ago, even 4 years ago. I've had a few barrel sit downs the past year where I walked in and the guy goes, just so you know, man, I tried your stuff in the past. I was not impressed. So don't expect me to buy anything from you today. And then walked out and he bought 3 barrels. So I don't think I'm getting any better at my job. It might be the mustache. I don't know.
I think it might be the mustache.
Yeah, I have a bachelor party this weekend. It'll be gone next time you see me, unfortunately.
No, I actually absolutely love guys and girls that go in with a preconceived notion of what they think a whiskey is going to be or taste like and totally get flipped on their head.
I'd say another thing that I really kind of hang my hat on and we pride ourselves on is, if you noticed in my story, we don't have any flash in the pan razzmatazz. Brian found the recipe in his grandpappy's safe and he died. And oh my God, my grandfather used to run moonshine in Kentucky, and like now we rebuilt the still and all this jazz. And like it's a straight up awesome story of 2 amazing people coming together as a team and building something and treating us all like family and making the thing work. And and Brian and Ray do not have any children together. I get that asked a lot. So I jokingly say that Abby and Bethany are the 2 daughters that they always wish they had. I'm the stepson that they have to deal with.
Fair enough.
So I actually have our group chat saved in my phone as favorite daughter / stepson.
That's pretty good.
But they're great people. And I apologize. I did leave 2 amazing people out on our team as well, as far as leadership goes. And that's, you guys have met Scott and Brandon in the restaurant. And those guys make my life a lot easier, right? When I have guests like you guys all come up, and I don't really have to lift a finger, right? They take great care of us with cocktails and keeping the glasses full and the food. So thank you to those guys as well. But so that's, that kind of answer your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I can vouch for all. I'm just happy that that you guys are finally getting the recognition, outside of the state, and everyone's really understanding how good a whiskey it really is, and that not everything has to come from Kentucky or MGP or wherever it may be. There's a lot of great whiskey, which I think as a club we kind of prided ourselves on fairly early, was finding a lot of these hidden gems, and you guys of course being one of them. And it always feels good to give everybody else a little something from your home.
Yeah, Driftless. I don't know, Scott. I think Driftless Glen might be our top #1 gem. Ever since we brought those out, when Black Forest Bugaboo hit, people went nuts, and they were like, "We need a lot more of this stuff." Hey, what's up, Matt? ADHD Whiskey.
What's up, Matty? Good to see you, bud.
Matty needs a Driftless Glen pick. I think he would definitely pick a beast of a barrel.
He would definitely do a good one. So, all right, what do you say we kind of dive into a few of these, and we'll get the people what they want.
Yeah. Let's talk through them. Doing bourbon first, Scotty.
Yeah, let's do bourbon first. We'll go with you got the old green sticker. We don't know proofs. Are these? I know in the past we've bottled at a particular proof. Are these going to be bottled at a particular proof, or just barrel strength? We're
just barrel strength. So again, if you guys are starting with the bourbon, again, like I said before, 53-gallon barrel. Mash bill is going to be 60 corn, 20 rye, 20 malt, and most of the cask strengths in 5 to 7 year range that I've sold this year, at least, we've been seeing it come out of the barrel around 118, a range from probably 118 to 122, 23-ish. So it'll probably fall somewhere on 120, and that's what you guys are drinking right now. So these are right out of the barrel.
Okay. Awesome.
Right. And then people usually ask, well, where's your grain come from? Is your grain from Wisconsin? We used to source our grain from Wisconsin years and years and years ago. However, right, can't sacrifice quality just to say that you get your grain from your home state. So we did go down to Hodgson Mill in Effingham, Illinois to get our corn and rye, and then we get our malt from Breeze and Chilton.
Cool. Yeah, they're if you're in Wisconsin or around, they're a very familiar name, that's for sure. So all right, let's go ahead and dive into a couple of these. So we are tasting right out of the gate, so that you guys know and we know, barrel number 4003. Age on this is 5 years, 132 days. I'm guessing at the time that it was bottled. So we probably have an extra month or so on that, another 30 days or so. So
yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yep. Just here's the color, guys.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, let me solo on that one real quick, and you'll see what
nice honey gold color there.
Very, very nice color on these. They've always got great great color and stuff on these. So but oh man, that's something a little bit different. That's like there's like I don't know what it is, like a slight like nuttiness to it almost.
Yeah, this is coming off like Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, it is a little kind of peanut buttery.
I get chocolate and peanut butter on this.
Yeah,
that's something we have not come across yet. Driftless, which is interesting. No. That's right. You guys get out the donuts, sip along with us. It's not the same donuts, but we're all together, brothers and sisters in donut. So
I wish I would have known it was only going to be you two rascals. I would have saved a little bit for myself. I thought I was expecting 7 dudes to pop up on the screen.
Yeah, and normally we do it. We've got a lot going on kind of in the next couple of days and things like that. So it's like, we want to try to get as many people involved at times, as we can. And this is one I kind of wish I would have, done some things, but sometimes you get like a little bit ahead of yourself and you start scheduling all these things, and it's kind of worked out that just he and I ended up doing this one this time.
Jeffrey Jankovic, he says he's having surgery next week. I'm stuck to water. Oh, hope it's not too serious, Jeff.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Hopefully, I hope he's what are you getting, the old hip replacement? You getting the old calf implants? What are you getting, Jeff?
Calf implants.
And we're sure as
I'm gonna feel like a real dick if he's like, no man, it's like brain surgery.
Yeah, you are a dick.
I like how you're using an Entourage quote there about calf implants.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
We're definitely not doing one of these donuts.
Oh, knee surgery. Heard it work. Okay, man, you'll be dunking basketball soon enough.
Oh man, actually, what is that?
I can't get off of the chocolate peanut butter. It's pretty.
Yeah,
good.
it's definitely there. It's starting to get like a little more kind of summer fruits on it too.
All right, cheers, man. Let's give it a go.
Yep, cheers. Yeah, that's a viscous bastard right there.
Yeah, more of the same for me. Chocolate peanut butter.
Yeah, and a little bit of like a little bit of a fruit and stuff there, like I don't know, like maybe raspberry, strawberry, something like that.
I don't normally I get like a really big burst of like dark fruit in Driftless, but this one having a hard time. Really good spice. There's a very bright vanilla extract note for me on this one too. It's really sweet. Man, this is just like, yeah, I mean, this is a peanut butter donut. If I ever,
You're not picking up on any of those fruit notes at all, really, hey?
I mean, I think slightly, but not. Maybe it's just because it's not what I'm used to. Because I actually had a little pour of the. I had a little mint mojito earlier. to prep the old palate.
You got it. Yeah.
The old crop duster. Had to get it out.
Yeah. The old crop duster. Oh, that's good. All right, great.
One thing too, I guess that we forgot to mention as well. So, and we also use a char level 4, in case anybody out there is going, I wonder what char level they use, right? We try to do that to combat the harsh winters, right? Our rick house is not climate controlled in there, so we're at the mercy of this Wisconsin climate, right? We all know the drill. We'd love to have a few more hot days and cool nights up here, but that's just not how Mother Nature intended it. And actually, since the last time you guys have been up there, I can't remember how many barrels we would have had laying down, but now we're getting close to like 7,000.
Really?
On property. So for those of you out there going, man, I hope they don't run out of juice. I'll tell you what, if I ever sell us out of whiskey, I will not be coming back on here. I will be on a Marlin boat in Costa Rica with Ryan and Renee. And, going, we did it.
Yeah. You'll officially be the salesman of the year. That's for sure.
If you want 7,000 barrels tonight, I could probably get you a pretty solid price. And then I'm going to take the next 5 years off.
All right. I like the bourbon one so far. I mean, that it's really it's different. It's probably one of the more this reminds me more of their amped up like original profile Driftless, which I really like.
Yeah, and it definitely has more of that oak presence. Like you're really starting to, like, as you kind of sip on it a little bit more of that oak kind of starts to come out. Not on a dry side, but the oak influence kind of comes a little bit.
It's always the best thing I love about Driftless Glens is the finishes on them. All are long lasting.
Yeah,
give you a nice little experience. It's something you could sip on. What are the mash bills for the bourbon again, Justin? You know off
60, 20, 20, 60 corn, 20 rye, 20% malted barley, right?
Is your name Justin Scott? I'm only kidding.
I know all the details here.
You know all the deets.
I know all the deets.
Yeah, he's been around for a while, so he.
I've been around. I've
been around for a while.
I've been around.
I think between you and Jeff at the good old speakeasy, right?
Yeah, we've just been hanging around, just lingering along. So, all right, do we? You want to go to the next one or what?
Yeah, let's go to bourbon 2 here.
39 barrel, 39.72, and at the time of bottling or sample, 5 years, 135 days. So this is barrel.
Oh, see, I get the fruit on this one, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's alive.
Johnny 5.
It's alive.
Call it the Frankenstein pick.
Yeah.
The Franken donut.
This is year 135. Okay. Oh yeah, that's much. Why, it's like almost like some like a charred honey note or something on it as well.
Yeah, this is all honey and graham cracker.
I was just gonna say like the little like cinnamon graham cracker is kind of what it was reminding me of.
Yeah, a lot of graham cracker on here, which I like honey graham cereal. It all goes back to cereal.
Yeah, there you go.
Honey graham cereal.
Honey graham.
William, we did not get any weeders right in here, Justin. Right?
No,
Yeah.
we will be out of wheat, our wheated bourbon. That was probably as far as line extensions go, that was easily probably my favorite. Only downside was we had like 10 or 11 barrels for the whole state, and I sold them all pretty much by barrel picks. Yep. And there's only a few places out there, if anybody's in Wisconsin watching and they're looking for our wheated bourbon, Steinbrink's Piggly Wiggly. Their chain should have some bottles laying around. I think they have 2 stores in Kenosha, one in Lake Geneva, one in Delavan. And then a couple Woodmans, if you get lucky, still have a couple laying around. And then McFarland Liquor, I think, might have a few bottles laying around.
Oh, okay. I'll have to make a couple calls.
Hy-Vee, Fitchburg, and West, I believe. I'm probably missing someone. I can't remember if the guys up in Kohler are out of it or not. But
the Kenosha Kickers.
Yep. Hey, how you doing? Hey, you ever heard our song? Polka, 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 polka. No.
Exactly.
It was a massive hit. We sold like 30 copies.
Yeah. Oh, here in Chicago? No, Sheboygan. Very big in Sheboygan.
Yeah, very big in Sheboygan, yeah. Oh, great movie. Oh, boy.
Yeah, but this is all cinnamon graham cracker. It's really nice.
And then again, I guess to circle back to the wheated as well, we will have more in 2027 is the sound of the day. So 2027, we're gonna wait till it's 10 years old.
Okay.
That'll
be awesome.
So
a 10-year-old weeder?
We will.
Wow.
In 2027. So that should be really exciting. Sorry, if you notice me keep looking, I've got my 2-year-old corgi down here trying to eat the floor. Maybe I should give her a sip of bourbon. That'll really tucker her out.
Yeah, that'll take care of it.
Man, so that's exciting. And then we also just recently launched our bourbon de Naraha. We have a little bit of that left out there too. That's the orange label. If anybody's seen a bright orange Driftless Glen label. So we went out to Spain, shipped about 10 barrels of orange infused sherry casks back to Baraboo and tossed our bourbon into that for 6 months.
It's cool.
At 100 proof. So that turned out really nice as well.
It's really.
Other than that, I keep having people ask me about the port finish. Ain't that the same old story too, right? It's like it kind of started off slow, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and people are like, "Where can I get port?" And I can't. We're having a heck of a time finding decent barrels to finish our stuff in at the moment.
Yeah.
So I guess we have them on order, but even if we filled them tonight, right? Still waiting 6 to 8 months probably. So hopefully if we get lucky next holiday season, we'll have some port finished back.
That port was
that in the streets. We don't have anything new coming out really. We'll have some distillery exclusives that I'm sure for the diehard fans that keep an eye on our social media, we'll see some neat one-offs over the next year coming out. But in the street, sticking to the same old, which I applaud Brian and Renee for as well, right? So
I like it.
I'm glad we've chosen to just stay in our lane.
Yeah,
you don't have to, find every finishing cast you can and throw your whiskey in it.
No, I agree. I'm not a fan of that for the most part, and I'm, stick to what you're good at. And also, my attitude's always been just because it's something weird and new does not mean it's good.
You got that right.
I mean, like, oh, no one's ever done it before. You don't think there's maybe a reason?
Yeah.
So what are you getting on this one, Sky? This is all cinnamon and citrus to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that. I was kind of thinking, there's a little bit of a lemon. There's something a little bit kind of tart about it. Maybe that's a combo of that and the oak. And that's kind of what I wrote down too. There's a little bit of
the oak is definitely prevalent. Yeah, the oak is prevalent. A lot of cinnamon graham cracker and like this bite of lemon orange, right on the mid palate, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went back to the nose on one, I was pulling out again a little bit of that citrus and maybe a slight mint. There's like a little bit of a mint note that was kind of popping up for me on that too. But
yeah, one is changing for sure.
Yeah, one is definitely changing. Yeah, I think more vanilla and stuff, all that kind of that characteristic starting to come out in 2 a little bit more. So
yeah, I mean, we'll definitely revisit these just
yeah.
to see how they're opening up a bit.
All right, so why don't we move on? This should be a monster here. So this is barrel number 1185, and this was aged 7 years, 242 days.
Oh, this is one of the. Oh my God! Look at the color on this thing.
Yeah, it's a
Look at the difference.
Yeah,
this is definitely going to be one of, if you guys happen to land on this, just so you know, kind of like we were talking offline before, right? This one, if this ends up being your favorite, which as we know doesn't always happen, right? Because it's the oldest doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. But this would definitely be one of the older barrels in the market at the moment in the country. So
that'd be awesome.
Matthew Parks has a good question. He goes, does the fingerprint on each of the bottles belong to someone specific?
Does the fingerprint? Oh, great question. Well, one, it helps, right? Our bottles are pretty darn heavy.
Yeah.
So we get our bottles from France, and those are actually Brian and Renee's thumbprints. So one thumbprint's Brian's, one's Renee's. It's their way of essentially saying, they have their own personal touch in every bottle that leaves the distillery. So
pretty cool.
That's cool.
Jeff, is that a short barrel? There's a good possibility. With a little bit of age, I'm sure there's probably, as normal, comes with a little bit of loss. So we're guaranteed for this one to be at least 50 bottles, probably. Yeah. We picked so many great whiskeys lately that have no whiskey in them. It's ridiculous.
As the sales guy, I sure hope it yields more than 50 bottles. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to sign off at about 37 minutes and say that's all the time I got for tonight.
we hope to. JG says 12 bottles.
And I see Dano off premise. I'd be curious where that off premise has an 8-year, 6-month rye. I wonder if that's down in Illinois or somewhere. I don't think I sold that, but
8 years, 6 months. Dano, 8 years, 6 months.
Wow.
I'd be smoking.
Yeah, and off premise. That's Chicago, right?
That must be. I'm not familiar.
I think off premise is Chicago.
But Illinois, yeah. So I'm not familiar with those guys. Like I said, we opted the broker route for the last 3 years. That's over now. So we're kind of starting over, if you will. I just spent the last week up in Minneapolis, and it's like starting all over again. I came back to the fort, and I told Brian and Renee, it feels like Wisconsin 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
With brand awareness and recognition and where we're not. So I've got my work cut out for me now. I'm heading down to South Carolina in a couple of weeks to go kind of re-jumpstart that market, and then back to Minneapolis and back to Iowa. And Corgi and the girlfriend might not be here by the end of the year, but that's but hopefully they love me enough to stick around. So
there you go.
What are you getting here, Scotty?
That's like a nice, really fruit bomb. Again, it's a little bit of that, a little bit of that concentrate, feel to it. Like there's that intense part of it.
Yeah, there's a definite intensity to this one compared to the other two. Obviously, the age is a big factor here. However, I mean, just on the nose, this has a lot going on.
Yeah, great spice that's there on it. I think the older oak is kind of working really well with like the heavier kind of fruit notes. It's balancing it out, I think, a little bit. You're not picking up like a lot of oak.
Yeah, I'm getting a very heavy cinnamon on this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Man.
Boy, there's a lot of like that creme brulee, like that charred part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like that burnt brown sugar type note.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun too, guys. I told myself, I woke up this morning, I go, okay, you have a bachelor party, you're 40 years old, you're taking the next couple days off. And then I go, well, son of a gun, I've got this thing with you guys tonight. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
sorry to rain on your parade.
So maybe tomorrow. We'll start again tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah, start tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Look at it this way: you sell some barrels, make some money before you go have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are, I'll admit, you don't want to know how little I kind of make on barrels when it's all said and done. It's really depending on the yield, right? It depends on the yield and depending on the group, right? Yeah. Some groups are very easy to work with, and it's turnkey, and you're good to go, and it's easy, right? Others are not so easy, and they make you work for it a little bit. And by the time you get done Mickey Mousing around and scheduling and rescheduling and all that, you're like, ooh, I don't know if that was worth $100.
Yeah. $100.
But no, we appreciate all our other whiskey groups that have supported us, of course, through the years. And we would not be where we're at without our barrel program. I fully believe that.
Well, you do a great job with it. You make time for everybody, which is awesome, and it sounds like you're busier than all get out. So, we appreciate you working with us. That's for sure.
Absolutely. That's I always like to say I'll never forget the people that took care of us in the beginning, but I will always remember the ones who did not. So when depending on what direction we want to go with our tenure, and all of a sudden my phone starts ringing saying we want some of this and we want some of this.
Yeah. And you can guarantee that's going to happen. That's for sure going to happen.
The ones that have been with me through this journey, the phone will get picked up, and that's not a problem, right? But I'm sure I'll run into a few that, now we want to be your friend.
You will 100% run.
All right, this is getting back to like that really rich Driftless Glen profile. The more this opens up, the better it's getting. I was a little bit worried in the beginning. It just seemed a little bit too tight. And I'm just like really getting the oak, but now it's really starting to open up, and all those like beautiful, like creme brulee, burnt caramel, like type flavors are all coming through here.
It definitely feels like one of those whiskeys that I think as it sits in the glass, it will definitely open up. Like it feels like it's that much of a kind of a monster whiskey that it will definitely change on you.
Yeah, I mean, out of the three, this is definitely the leader in the clubhouse. I think it has the most potential to be something really incredible. I just love that burnt sugar. I don't even know what kind of donut this would be. Maybe
you know what I'm gonna say here. What it kind of slightly reminds me of a little bit is a slightly less hot stag pick. It's fruity, it's oaky. Without that alcohol punch that it has to it, like it's rich and
I could see that. I'm not getting like the ultra sweetness that I get in stag.
Yeah,
this is a little bit more oaky, a little bit. I mean, it's sweet, but it's not like that super candy sweet that you get with stag.
Really, you think this is less sweet almost? Hey,
I know it's every time I go back to it, it gets sweeter. So that's what I mean. This could be an absolute beast.
And one thing we're not even like talking about is like the proof, man. The proof is not blowing you away at all. Like it's sneaky. If again, like Justin said, if this is anywhere between 118 and 123, man, it is really drinking nicely. I'll say that. It just has this perfect like punch to it. It seems to work really, really well.
Yeah, that's really good. It just keeps. I just want to keep going back to it and find more flavors.
That's the thing. It does. It kind of keeps drawing you back. Like the finish is long. It's not super dry. There is a little bit of that oak component. Again, there's a little bit of that fruit concentrate. That's there. That kind of sits for me on the palate, which is something I really dig in a whiskey. Period. Yeah. When you get that, like, let me ask you this: does this almost taste like slightly finished to you?
Yes, I thought it was the first thing when I nosed it. I thought it came off finished.
There's something about it. Like I know
I feel like you could say that about a lot of the donuts that we've picked, because there's such like the black, like the raspberry, man. That thing, the raspberry chocolate dream was so like fruit, like raspberry heavy.
Yeah. It's like for me, this is almost coming across as a little bit of a sherry / not ultra heavy port. That's where it's kind of that's where it's kind of hitting for me. Like when I'm thinking of it and like sitting on it or sipping on it, man, it just
that's so good.
I mean, for a non-finished whiskey, it's coming across like that.
See, you're saying stag, and I think it's coming off more of like a really heavily sweet Elijah Craig barrel proof more.
All right, I could go either way on those. That's probably
apples and oranges. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to say hi to Keith J. From the hospital, his hospital bed. He's in the chat.
Well, Jesus, we got a lot of injuries tonight.
Yeah, I think everybody's got to calm down a little bit on the drinking and the
Keith, man, we're hoping we're wishing.
Yeah, I mean,
we're wishing you the best.
Keith's been going through a real tough time. We did a fundraiser for him.
Yeah,
he's been put through the ringer, and I'm just really happy to see him still chiming in. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
you're still positively on your way to recovery, man.
Definitely.
Ham Turkey with a couple of quick questions for Justin. What is the climate around the distillery, and what is the entry proof on these?
Oh, great question. So our entry proof is 117. So I believe the last time I talked to Nathan, it comes off the still. I want to say last time I heard he was like 148. That sounds about normal. And then we proof it down to 117 before she hops into the barrel. The climate around the distillery, I'm guessing he means like, what's our Wisconsin climate like? Right now today, it was 92 degrees.
Yeah.
It'll probably get down to 60 something tonight. And then we're not too far away, right, boys? Right when football season gets here, it's in Wisconsin. It's either, it can start getting down to 40 at night and you start your morning at 50 and you wear a sweatshirt. It could be 80 by the end of the day and then back down. It starts getting loopy. And then it snowed on Halloween before.
Yeah.
Right? So you just never really know. This time of year, it starts getting pretty
I've always said, as far as Wisconsin goes, everyone thinks we all live in Canada, like it's cold all the time. Like we get cold and hot. Like tomorrow, we're talking 115-ish with the heat index. So like we do get hotter than all get out. I mean, it gets hotter than hell here too. So come February, and it can be
negative
20, 30.
That's why we drink so much up here. It's
exactly.
Cope with negative 30 wind chill, right?
Yeah.
But and then again, like I said before, our rick house is not climate controlled. So from what I've been told from Nathan, right, once it gets really below 55, 50 degrees in that rick house, the barrels are pretty much dormant for the winter. So people ask too, have you ever thought of building a climate controlled rick house? Some of the distilleries up here do that. That's off.
Oh man, let the climate do its job.
Yeah, absolutely right. And that's Brian and Renee's attitude as well. The purists don't dig that kind of stuff, right? That's not authentic. That's not real. So I don't see us ever doing that. Some of our competitors in the state, I believe, have some climate controlled housing, but
we have a natural climate of goddamn serious cold and serious heat. Like we got it all in between. So we don't need any climate controlled bullshit.
No.
Man, that is like, to me, that bourbon is just an absolute brown sugar bomb. It's delicious.
And it really is. It's set like that. Yeah, maple, like there's a little bit of a nuttiness that's on it.
Yeah, we got a little nuttiness to it. Yeah.
Yeah, like a maple nut or something like that. Like a
maple nut.
A maple nut.
Maple nut butter. Maple nut butter.
Is that a thing? Is that real?
Is there a maple nut?
Maple nut butter.
What is
sounds
that?
Right? Does it
I
sound
feel
good?
like it's getting worse.
I'm pretty sure maple nut butter.
I feel like it's getting.
I'm pretty sure it's a thing. I'm pretty sure maple nut butter is a thing.
Right? Might do. The maple nut donut. That sounds weird, but it might be a thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Bourbon 3 is definitely the leader in the clubhouse. I mean, we'll go back to these and see how they open up. But number 3, man, is that's really good.
All right, I'm gonna.
Now we go to the ryes, and all the ryes are dark. I think the Driftless Glen ryes are some of the most flavorful and maybe underappreciated ryes on the market. They are so freaking good.
no bullshitting. My wife's favorite whiskey that we've ever done, minus the ones that are maybe, with brewer and stuff on the bottle, but from a flavor standpoint, she loves the orange one that we did.
That chocolate orange, what was it? The chocolate orange dream, I think we called it.
I think it was something like that, but whatever the hell it was, God. It was so good. We had 2 bottles, and I was like, do you want a third one? She's like, no. And then we drank through both of them real fast. She's like, I wish you would have bought a third one. I'm like, you told me literally not to. So don't blame me. Don't blame me.
We're not laughing at you, Scott. We're laughing at the comment section right now.
Oh, yeah. Give me that nut. We're gonna talk about maple nut butter and jelly.
I could have swore, is there a maple nut butter or something like that? I could have swore there's something.
No, Dan from Deathless Dog says it's a candy, a maple nut candy.
See, another Wisconsin guy. He knows. I'm not totally crazy. I don't
know what the hell you.
Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, Keno says Keno blood orange brownie.
Blood orange brownie. That was the shit. That was the shit.
Man, that shit was so good. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. There is a maple nut goodie. There's maple nut goodies from Brock's Candy. It's a thing.
Fucking told you guys. You guys were laughing at. You guys weren't even laughing with me. You guys were just literally laughing at me.
I don't know, dude.
No, you were talking about your wife's favorite. Now it's Driftless Glen, everything, and
and then you said,
it sounds like a lot of backpedaling on your two parts right now.
Then you said maple nut, and I lost it. And that was it.
And then you went to maple nut butter. And we're like, I don't know if that's any better.
Let me see. Is there a maple nut butter? Let's see.
Look at you guys.
Holy shit, there is.
Dude, I told you guys. You guys are idiots. I told you.
I don't eat a lot of. I don't put maple nut butter on my bagel in the morning.
I don't want to say that's not my problem, but that's not my problem. So there's a reason I know. There's a reason I know.
I think Justin has a whole cabinet full of maple nut stuff.
He does.
Absolutely.
All right. So this is rye. We're going on to the rye. This is barrel number 1652, and it's aged 7 years, 100 and either 21 or 71 days.
Yeah, round up.
Yeah, we'll split
Sounds
it.
Cooler.
Yeah. Let's go 171 days.
Rob Zilla, where the hell you been, man?
He's been off the radar.
Yeah, Rob Zilla says aloha, people. Long time. Are you in Hawaii now? Is that what you're saying?
Aloha. Yeah. Jeez.
Hopefully he's not in Hawaii right now.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not. Yeah. Oh, dude, this smells amazing.
Oh yeah, it does. You guys do. You guys absolutely just kill ryes. I mean, they're so good. Jeez. They're just always so candied.
I appreciate the kind words, right? And I think we spoke on this a little bit the last time we did this together, and I told the story of when I'm dealing with guys that really know their stuff, right? And let's say we're at the distillery or we're on a Zoom call or we're at their house and we're running through barrel samples. They're like, dude, we're doing a bourbon because the masses love the bourbon, right? We're doing the bourbon.
Yeah.
But man, this rye hits, right?
Yeah.
And it's really too bad that, what the experts have been saying for the last 10 years, that this year is going to be the year of the rye. Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm waiting. If that ever comes, man, we're in a really, really good position with rye business. But we have plenty of rye land. No shortage of that. But our ryes have just always, and the experts will tell you rye doesn't need to spend necessarily as much time in the barrel to hit kind of its sweet spot and things like that. But we've been so fortunate with Nathan's ability to make just a kick-ass rye. Not bad for a self-taught dude.
No, not at all.
This purple sample, this barrel 1632, and this is the first one. This is a friggin' kick-ass rye.
Yeah, it is a kick-ass rye. Yeah. There's just that, again, there's that mint, orange, oak. Nice spice to it.
Yeah. This rye goes to Thomas H. Haney's, hold my beer. I'll show you a rye.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a chocolate. I mean, it does. It's a little bit of that the one we just did, the chocolate orange dream or whatever the hell.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent. I'm getting the chocolate. The chocolate is very prevalent on this. Love the citrus notes I'm picking up here. It's kind of like an amalgam of the mint one that we did and the blood orange one that we did, where it's kind of like this chocolatey, minty, orange combo.
You know what I was just thinking right now, like how incredible of a boo rye we literally could maybe make right now.
Yeah, Justin, if we blend some barrels together, can you make double a profit?
I don't get to make double the profit, but I can tell you if I called Brian and Ray are actually in Africa right now, so they're hunting elephants. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
they're not.
Jesus.
They're
oh God.
They're just on a safari, so don't worry, they're not shooting anything. But we've talked about, like, we've had a few people inquire about doing something like that, and we've never done it.
I don't know. The profiles you guys have are so powerful. It would be, I feel like it would be tough to blend unless you're blending a younger with an older whiskey, or maybe something that's a little bit more delicate versus, with something really strong. I feel like whenever you try to blend two really powerful whiskeys together, it's really tough to make that work.
I feel
unless you're ADHD whiskey who could blend anything.
I feel like next time we have you guys up at the shop, for an afternoon or a day, right? Maybe we can pull some samples out and mess around a little bit with Nathan and Casey and see if we can't come up with something down the road. But absolutely.
That might be something we have to do with our next batch that we got cooking.
Yeah. I really love this rye. It is I mean, the chocolate is there, but it's an absolute citrus bomb to me.
There's a nice like herbal note without it being too much of an herbal note. Like it just gives you a little bit of that rye note without it being like overly pungent at all.
Yeah,
but, that's really good.
Really well developed rye. It's just really good.
Shit.
All right. I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Oh, these are starting to get a little darker now. This one.
Keith says, I got the Driftless Glen Black Forest Bugaboo pick. Any of these bourbons compare? Actually, out of the three bourbons, I don't really think any of them compare right now to that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that would maybe slightly compare just because of the fruit notes would be 3. I mean, that's the only one that's got that heavy of fruit on it.
Yeah, but I'm not getting like that heavy raspberry punch that.
No, it wasn't that
at all.
No.
Yeah, it's more of like a brown sugar, burnt caramel type note that we're getting in the bourbons this time. You still on the first rye?
No.
You going to the second one?
Yeah, man, that first one was really, really good.
All right, so now we're at barrel 1640.
1640, and this is aged 7 years, 172 days. So 1 day older than the other that we had. So,
fuck me! Holy crap!
I think that happened to you last time too, didn't it?
Yeah, when I tasted the blood orange one. I was just like, that's
it's just so rich. Like I don't even know how anybody, even if you don't like rye, like I don't even know how you wouldn't like this. Like if I gave you this and you didn't know it was a rye, I think you'd be like, oh my God, that's so good.
That's ridiculous.
Jeez, either you're making me blush or it's the bourbon. I can't tell which one. But
so you know, Scott and I were talking about like a whiskey that tastes like it's finished. Like if you told me that was finished, I'd 100% believe you.
And I love the spice on it. It's sweet, spicy, again, a little bit fruity, mint. They have similar profiles, I would say, but now you're just kind of like these things are just becoming, just like, man, that finish is great on that. Nice little.
This is more. I love number one, but this is more of a. I feel like this one has more viscosity. It's more. Sure. I think it's a little bit more amped up in flavors too.
Yeah, that like spice.
This thing just. Yeah, the spice just covers your entire palate.
Man, that's fantastic. I wouldn't say maybe as heavy on the like mint and orange. It's maybe a little bit slightly of a darker profile, honestly.
Yeah, I would totally agree. This goes into the more. I feel like there's orange there, but there's like two different things. You have like the orange peel, which I think we got in the first one, Whereas this one is coming off more of like an orange liqueur, like something concentrated.
Yeah, it is very concentrated. And that's kind of similar to what I was getting on that third bourbon that we were tasting. This is a lot of that kind of profile. Man, that's a monster rye right there.
Yeah, that thing's a beast.
I like Tim's comment. That extra day makes a difference.
It does.
It does.
It's kind of like an extra inch, right?
Yeah.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So everybody in the chat, for those of you guys going to the Sagamore event, Scott and I will be doing a little bit of a patron only live stream here after this.
Yeah.
We're going to go through all the final details for the Sagamore event. If you're going, even if you're not attending, if you want to hang out, we can do that. But I had the final call today with Sagamore to go through the final details. And if you have any questions, I will answer them tonight. So,
man, always I wish I could bring. I'm gonna try to sneak one sample through and see how it goes. But I'm not checking any bags. I'm just doing all carry-on stuff. So I would love to bring some of these. My partner in crime, he might be able to sneak those into the vehicle or not. But these
I got Dusty Dan. So Gene from Cat's Eye is sending Dusty Dan sample bottles of our aged Burrye that we did. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll have some of those for people to try too. This rye is ridiculous.
Yeah, it really, I mean, it does like this rye and that third bourbon are like on that same level so far,
Yeah, so far so good, man. Yeah,
that's a long, lingering finish that just sits on the palate like forever.
I'm gonna try to break this down here.
And then real quick too, spreads no one's asked, right? So mash bill on the rye, 75 rye, 25 malt.
75 rye, 25 malt. Okay, so pretty straightforward. I think that high malt was what really gives you guys that chocolatey texture to your ryes, which I love.
And think about that. That's like slightly different. There's not a lot of those like that mash bill very often. 75-25, if you think about that.
Yeah. I mean, this rye, guys, this rye kind of takes you through a lot of different flavor profiles here. The one thing that does stay constant to Scott's point is the spice and the finish on this goes for days.
Yeah, man.
It's like I haven't had a sip and it's just lingering, just sitting there. This is like but it's got sweet, it's got spice, it's got a little chocolate. It's very candy though as well. But then it almost comes off like a what's that orange liqueur? Grand Marnier, like a Grand Marnier feel to it.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good call. Yeah, there's a lot of these just real concentrate flavor profiles to these.
Damn, that's man, three has some work to do because 2 is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, and one thing that I guess sometimes leave out of the fun storytelling time as well. So before we opened, we hired Dave Pickerel. So we hired him to come in.
The legend.
The legend to come in and consult.
Rest in peace.
For us. So that's essentially who created our mash bills and all of that stuff and kind of helped design the facility and picking out the stills and all of that fun stuff. So
yeah, he was a mastermind, that's for sure.
Yeah, everything that dude touched went gold, man. He is sorely missed.
Yeah, I'm sure. Unfortunately, I never had a chance to meet him. I wasn't around back then.
Justin, I know you're a sales guy, but do you dabble in some other bourbons besides Driftless Glen you like to sip on, or not really?
Full disclosure, I sip on this stuff enough as a day job that if I'm at your house or if I'm at Scott's house, right, and you guys have these amazing collections. I'll admit if you walked into my downstairs bar, it's just Driftless Glen's entire lineup through the years.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
And I'll admit anybody who's hung out with me, right? The running joke is I'm quite the light beer connoisseur.
I knew exactly what you were going to say. I'm like, just give this guy a Coors Light. He's happier than all get out.
Yeah, I got myself into a little bit of trouble. It was my first barrel pick ever with Driftless Glen. Thank God I had a group up there from McFarland Liquor. So I'm sure you guys have met Nathaniel before, but so Pat Makovic was the previous owner. We lost him a few years back, which was really sad, but I called up Nathaniel and Pat. I'm like, guys, I've been working with you for years. I need to show my worth to Driftless Glen. Let's do a barrel pick. And they came up, and I had never sipped on cast strength bourbon in my life, and I got smoked. And so the next time I saw Brian, he's like, what do you normally drink? I'm like, honestly, Bud Light. And he's like, okay, moving forward, you drink that when you're up here. Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Sounds good, boss. So yeah, we got a little rowdy on that first ever barrel pick.
big difference between cast strength bourbon and some Bud Light.
Don't get me wrong. Right? I could drink a ton of Bud Light. But I think I was drinking the cast strength bourbon like it was kind of a Bud Light, and man, that day got a little away from me there. So that'll always be a fun story to remember the first ever barrel.
Hey, we've all been there before. We've all been there. So.
But yeah, so I always like it when I'm with guys like yourselves. I guess again to kind of go back to your question, if you've got like some Weller laying around, I'm one of those kind of like when it comes to drinking the bourbon, I'm absolutely in that novice intermediate range as far as even though I've done hundreds of barrel picks, right? But I only do barrel picks with Driftless Glen. So to me, it kind of always tastes the same, right? I'm still working on my vocabulary. I don't try to be, anybody who's done business with me knows that I don't walk around like some pompous whiskey guy that thinks he knows everything. I actually enjoy sitting and listening to you guys talk about the tasting notes at the table and all of that, and try to steal some one-liners from you guys to use. I just drink a lot of Driftless Glen. Last year I think I did just under 200 barrel picks. Cool. So that's plenty of sipping on whiskey, if you ask me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
that's good, a lot. Man. That's a lot.
Because of course I can't sit there and not try them with you.
Yeah.
Sure. you can't trust a guy like that.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't trust a guy without a dark side.
It's. I'm sure one of these days I'll go to the doctor and he's like, "So how long you been in the liquor business? And how many years did you spend in college?"
Yeah.
And
your liver's screaming a little bit.
When I hit him with 8 years in college and 16 years in the liquor business, he's gonna go, "Yeah, you're done drinking.
You're done." Man, that second rye is fantastic. You don't even want to leave it. It is so good.
Scott, all I'm going to say is wait till you get to the third one.
Oh no, you already moved on. All I did was wrote down I have barrel 1640, and I have next to it my official tasting notes is absolutely fantastic. I don't even have anything else written down. That's all I have.
Yeah, you should write like Arnold Schwarzenegger accent. Absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
It's fantastic.
It's not a tool.
Man.
It's not a. All right, go to the third one, Scott.
All right, let's go to the third one.
Come on, Scott. Let's keep this show on the road.
You know what's good about the third one? It's that it's equally as bold as the second one, but it's different.
Oh, it's same but different.
Oh,
it's spicy. All right. Oh, fantastic. On that note, good night, everybody. Yes. Oh, my God. Oh, man.
So this one is less citrusy on the nose, I think.
Right. And let me tell everybody about this one. So this is barrel 1643, 7 years, 172 days, which was identical to the other one. And not far, 3 barrels over. If we're going in chronological order, we're only 3 barrels. I'll say to the right if that works. But man, see this one reminds me a lot more of it. Not as orangey, but it's way more intense. This reminds me way more of our whatever that chocolate orange dream or whatever the hell it was that we did. Man. Now that's just nosing it, but man, I think more orange is going to come out as this thing just kind of sits open.
I'm not even on the palate, dude. I'm not getting as much orange. To me, this is more of the chocolatey, sugary, sweeter rye compared to the other one.
Yeah, now tasting it.
I mean, yeah, I think there's some citrus there, but not nearly as prevalent as in
No. Man, it's hard to. I love the spice. I love the lingering spice on this one.
Gosh, number 2 is so good though.
Yeah, two is
as good as 3 is. I still don't think it overtakes number 2. Number 2 is just insane.
The number 2 just feels like the finish on it was like for days. Like it just never went away at all.
And that's the biggest difference though with number 2. Number 3 is very good, but the finish on number 2 is insane. It's all day long. Just sit down, light a cigar, and you could sip that all day long. It's not even a question.
That's the thing, man. Can we do like a cigar? Can we do like a cigar donut?
I love these guys in the group chat right now. I mean, heck, Tim wants you to buy 2 barrels of rye and 1 bourbon, and Big Vic's backyard BS. He wants you to buy 2 barrels of bourbon and 2 rye. Or do they mean bottles?
Yeah, I don't know if there's 2 bourbons in here that are up to the standards of our previous bourbons, to be honest.
Probably. Three is on par for sure.
I think 3 is up there, but the first 2, they're good, but
I think they just mean bottles.
Yeah. Oh, just bottle. Yeah.
Oh no, these guys don't mean bottles. These guys mean barrels.
Yeah, they want barrels. Yeah.
Eric says so. Number 2 is the short barrel.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna. I don't think bourbons are good enough here to get 2 of those. I think one. I think we're gonna go back to that last barrel that we tried of the bourbon. See how that one's opened up a little bit. But the ryes here, man,
they are amazing.
The ryes are incredible. I mean, I think the ryes are better than the bourbons.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's for me. I would say, man, like bourbon 3 and like rye 2 and 3 probably at this point. Fuck, the longer you sip on 3, the longer it gets, the spicier it gets. There's a little bit of I don't know if it's like a little bit of like a jalapeno on 3. There's something that's now kind of kicking in on that thing. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even know where to go with it. I don't even know where to go with this. These 2 ryes are just blowing my mind.
Like, let me ask you this: if I gave you this blind, do you think necessarily like you would just default to rye like right away?
No.
Like that's the thing. Like, I mean, we know what it is, but man, like it might take a little while to like really have to like reflect on this thing.
I mean, the spice of them might clue me into a rye, but they're as sweet as a bourbon is to me. I mean,
yeah. We're talking 75% corn, 25% malted barley.
75 rye, you mean?
Yeah, is that what I said?
You said corn.
Oh, 75 rye and 75 or
I don't know, Justin. Scott's making new mash bills up.
Never mind. 75 rye.
When you get six samples deep, things start getting a little swirly.
Hey, let me just tell you, this ain't no this ain't no damn Bud Light. This ain't no damn Bud Light. Let me tell you.
Oh my God, dude, Scott. Next time we come to Wisconsin, when Kim and I visit, we got to make time to hang out with Justin.
Yeah, we will for sure.
Yeah, that could be a very dangerous night.
I'll get that guy a case of Bud Light, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, Ho Chunk Casino and Resort, right? It's only 13 and a half minutes. Don't ask me how I know that now.
13 and a half minutes, but who's counting?
13 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
It's 13 and a half minutes. And I'll admit, more often than not, when we have groups in, especially from out of state, they tend to stay there or at least stay in the Dells. So, what do you have to drive by to get back to the Dells? And then next thing you know, you're spending your commission dollars before they even came in.
Exactly. Sounds like the American dream right there, right?
Yeah.
All right, Scotty. I think rye, pink and orange. We're on board for here.
Yeah.
Especially the pink one, 1640. Let's go back to the bourbons real quick. I want to nose these again and taste them real quick again.
All right.
To see how they've developed, how they've opened up, and see where we're at.
Definitely don't start with 3. We'll go 1 through. We'll go 1, 2, 3 real quick and see how those.
Let's go through them 1, 2, 3 real quick here.
All right.
So Justin, are you a big Packer fan?
Yeah. I'm a big Packer fan. I'm probably a little more of a Badger fan if you had to rank them. So,
you poor bastard.
Absolutely excited to see what the Packers do this year. I'm more excited, as I think most Wisconsinites would tell you if they're a Badger fan.
I think what I've seen so far in the preseason, I think Jordan Love could be the real deal, man.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the drill, right? The odds are very slim that we get lucky 3 times in a row.
Well, and that was the thing. That's what everyone said about Aaron Rodgers following Brett Favre. And now, now you have Jordan Poole, who looks like I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. But then we just brought in Luke Fickell to be the new head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers, and Phil Longo as the offensive coordinator. They brought in from North Carolina. And man, are we excited.
There hasn't been this much excitement for Badger football, like honestly, in a long time. We're always excited, but like this is a whole different.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Like, so we totally went off script of what we are traditionally known for. So we're going with a guy who likes to launch the ball over the field as an offensive coordinator. Compared to the past 30 years
just running
of hand the ball off. Crap, I got to punt again. But we're really looking forward to it. I'm a staunch and avid boater, right? I've never been so excited to put that thing on the trailer for the year and get into football season here in Wisconsin.
I hear you.
It's going to be interesting to see.
And maybe probably with Wisconsin style, like I don't know if collectively we've had like this deep a wide receiver crew ever. Like we've got great wide receivers. Like there's a good chance. Like I'm honestly really excited when Ohio State comes to town. Like I can't wait to play Ohio State here. Like I really can't.
Well, yeah, everyone wants to play Ohio State this year because it's a new quarterback, it's a new team. You guys are all
here we go.
They reload.
I know they reload, but everyone's all of a sudden is like Ohio State's going to be. Listen, I didn't grow up here. I could give a shit. I don't care what happens. I'm just saying. It's just funny to hear all the other teams now talking shit because Ohio State had to retool like the entire team. It's just funny. Now all the Wisconsin people, the Badgers are coming to town. You guys ain't beating Ohio State. Sorry.
Christ. I'm about ready to mute this fucking guy. I don't even know how he got on this live stream, actually.
Scott, he's not wrong, right? All the Badgers are right now is a big hype train, right?
It is true. It
could be 1-5 by the time Ohio State rolls into town. And then no one cares.
Yeah, that is.
But hopefully that's not the case.
I do find it hilarious though when Michigan beats Ohio State and how everybody here is like ready to jump off the bridge.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible.
It's amazing, and what's equally amazing is the radio guys. So, I grew up in New York radio. They talked about New York has multiple teams across all sports. So the conversation was constant about Jets, Giants, Mets, Yankees, Rangers, Islanders, and it was just always constant. Then I come to Columbus, Ohio, and all the talk is about Ohio State. And even when Ohio State is having issues and sucks, the radio guys still prop them up like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. So.
No, Eric, we don't mean the Ohio State. That's the stupidest thing ever. It's literally just Ohio State.
I was waiting for someone to say the Ohio State.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Blake Benson says, I live in Ohio. Boo, OSU. Notre Dame. Blake Benson's as a Notre Dame man.
Notre Dame guy. All right, Blake. A little smarter guy right there. Okay. Yeah. I can get on board with that.
Fifth quarter tailgate.
Nicholas is drunk.
Yeah,
fifth quarter tailgate's calling. He's saying trap game. Nebraska beats Michigan this year.
I don't know about that one. It's all right. A lot of those Husker fans think it's still 1996.
Yeah. It's just I just always find it like from an outsider looking in, like someone who grew up with no college football, really in New York, because it was all professional teams. I mean, the closest thing we had was Rutgers, and they're not that great. They were really good for a couple of years, and were like making all this noise in the Big Ten, but they were still never good enough to beat like the likes of Michigan or Ohio State or something like that. So, yeah.
Rutgers will literally be the worst team in the Big Ten this year.
So
look at Adam trying to be fancy with the Ohio State, like in separate comments.
Yeah, well, that's what Ohio State fans do, man. That's what it is. Sergey is here.
Back in before we have to switch over to like the sports.
Yes.
Side.
All right. Yeah. So, we went on a little sports.
All right. So I'm going to be real honest with you, Justin.
Okay.
First bourbon, barrel 4003. Again, I'm still getting like that peanut butter chocolate vibe, but
yeah,
it's all right.
It's really hard coming. It's really hard coming off the rise for sure.
Barrel 3972. Something happened with this barrel. It doesn't smell right.
Really?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Things are just going south for Jason because he's got Ohio State on the brain. That'll happen. Shit just doesn't work anymore.
I mean, when you I don't know, when you compare it to some of the other barrels we have, that one is, I don't know.
It's flatter. It's definitely flatter.
It's flat, and it's coming off, even at 5 plus years old, it's coming off more youthful than I think I've ever had. And I hate to give you PTSD and give you flashbacks of it tastes young, boy. What I mean?
That's okay. I like the old days too.
Yeah, just like as feedback, like it's coming off like not as developed for some reason. Let me go back to 1185 here.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be worse or not, but it could be close. Yeah, Northwestern's gonna be a goddamn train wreck.
Oh, dude, 1185 smells like Eggo waffles.
Yeah, it's really good.
And Mrs. Butterworth syrup.
Yeah, so we actually, the last time I would have had a barrel like that was was that last year or already 2 years ago? But I did a barrel pick with a group of dudes down in Oklahoma City. I don't know if I've told you guys that story before. So I met these 3 dudes at Whiskey Fest in Chicago 6 years ago, and I give them my card, and they're all loaded, and they're having a ball. My table has, we don't even have any swag, any stickers, nothing, right? I have a tablecloth and a bunch of 2-year-old whiskey, and I'm in the back 40, and no one's coming to my table. I'm just twiddling my thumbs, and these 3 drunk dudes from Oklahoma City wander over, and they hung out at my table all night, and gave them my card. Said, "Yeah, give me a call if you guys, you need to come to our Whiskey Fest in Oklahoma City." I'm like, "Oh, here's my card." Right? 9 times out of 10, people lose my card. They never call me. A whole year goes by, my phone rings with an Oklahoma City number, and it's Mark. And Mark's like, "Justin, Mark Brockhouse, met you at Whiskey Fest in Chicago. You got to come down to our event." and I'm like, "You got to be shitting me, Mark. You still have my card. Jesus." And I go, "Mark, we don't have distribution in Oklahoma. I can't do it. I can't afford it. My owners aren't going to flip the bill." He goes, "I'll pick you up in my plane, and you can stay in my guest house."
Jesus.
And so I don't know what kind of plane this is, right? I'm just like, cool. He's going to pick me up at Wisconsin Aviation. I'm going to fly to Oklahoma. Dude pulls in a single engine, 4-seater death trap. And I thought I was going to die. And I did better on the way home. But the way there, I was quite nervous. It took us 4 hours and dodging storms and going through a couple. But
that's tough in a small plane like that. That's not good.
Yeah, it was wild. I don't like being able to see out the windshield. When you fly commercial, you don't look out the windshield.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But we've continued to build our friendship, and now I go down there every year. I unfortunately couldn't make it this year as plane had some issues. But that's probably one of my favorite stories is those guys. And man, I'll tell you what, they like to drink in Oklahoma. Those boys don't mess around. I know Wisconsinites like to say that, we're the biggest swinging what when we're drinking. But man, you meet someone from Oklahoma, be careful because they're gonna put them down too.
Man.
All right, Scott. The last bourbon, 1185. What are you thinking?
Man, it's fantastic. It's just one of those things. I think that like as that thing gets bottled and sits out, like it's just going to be a whole different like monster. It's really good.
Man, it is. It's just so rich in flavor.
There's a little bit there's a little bit of a pecan note that's got like a pecan shell. Like there's like oak and just that's a little bit.
It's all like maple pecan to me. All
like maple nut butter. Like maple
nut.
Maple
it
nut.
Is a maple. It's butter. A maple nut butter donut. Is what it is. Maple nut butter donut.
For those of you new to the channel tonight, if you weren't around the first time we went through these, apparently there is such a thing as maple.
I refuse to accept any sticker that does not involve maple nut butter donut on that.
All right, this is going to be the maple butter donut.
Maple nut butter.
I'm sorry, maple nut butter. Oh, that's terrible. I'm already like cringing. I have to make that sticker.
You just make the sticker, okay? Just make the sticker. You'll be good.
Yeah, maple pecan donut, maple nut pecan. Yeah, maple pecan. I think that sounds better than maple nut, to be honest.
You do it. Hey, you do whatever you gotta do. Whatever works for you.
Yeah, that's delicious. All right, now to the ryes. All right, so so Justin, barrel 1185. I know it's an older barrel, but we want it. It's so good.
Yeah, we'll take bourbon barrel 1185. All right, now I think we have to decide what we want to do with 1640 and 1643, I think, right?
So here's my opinion.
Where are we at?
Here's my opinion, Scott. You let me know. I think both barrels are similar in flavor profile. I think, but one is just overly better than the other, and to me, that's 1640.
All right, let me go back through that a little bit.
We could compare them here real quick because Justin, do you have any insight to possible bottle counts for any of these bottles, or you have no idea?
I mean, it's the old story. I mean, I normally guess pretty close to the number. I'd say 53-gallon barrel, 7 years old, cast strength. I'm going to put you somewhere from what I've seen this year now with cast strength barrel picks. We're probably going to land somewhere in 23 to 27 6-packs.
You're going to make me do math? Okay.
23, so 6, 18. So, I mean, that's 180 to 200 bottles.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, that's about 100 and yeah.
I'd say you're going to be closer to the 150 bottle mark.
I was just going to say, anyway, 140, 150.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards 1640 just because of that finish. That finish is unreal.
It really has been fantastic all the way through. Oh, man,
1643 is very good, but I think 1640 is basically 1643 with a much longer finish and higher concentration. 1640 is so effing good.
Eric's guessing 83.
Yeah, well, like I said, we've kind of built up a reputation for picking a lot of short barrels, unfortunately. It's like, hey, we just picked a barrel. Bad news. It's like 40 bottles.
Yeah, that would. I mean, I'll admit if it does come down to like something like 83, so we're looking at just under 14 6-packs. I mean, like you said, that's been a trend with you guys, I guess. But that puts us at that would put you at the smallest yield that I've seen all year.
So the bourbon we're gonna select here, which is 1185, that's one of the 7-year-old bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean by the time this thing gets bottled, like we're pretty close to like almost 8 years at this point, probably, right? Pretty close.
What was the age on it again, Scott?
It's 7 years, 242 days. So we add maybe another 30 days, 72.
Yeah, you might get close to 8 years.
You might be close. It'll be damn close to 8 years. That's for sure. Man, Jason, I'm so torn between 2 and 3 right now.
I don't think we have to make it that crazy, Scotty. I'm fine getting 2 ryes for the group, but ryes are weird with the Driftless Glens. We've done 2 ryes before. They've sat. I'm very comfortable with doing the Bourbon 1185 and the 1640 for the rye as our next 2 donuts.
Yeah, I think we probably need to definitely do those 2. That's for sure.
Yeah.
One thing we can do as well, guys, on the off chance it is a let's say 80 bottles or something, something nuts, right? If you have your second favorite rye.
Justin, I think that's a good idea. If 1185 or 1640 end up being a shorty, end up being a short stack, let us know.
Yep.
Yeah. And if it is a short stack, we will add 1643 to the mix for the group.
Yeah, man, those are good. Those are just good whiskeys.
They're just so good. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. That's again, another kind of plus of dealing with this kind of more nimble operation, right? Is hey, if we
I can't get off this bourbon. It is such a maple pecan pie.
Butter. It's a maple nut butter.
I'm not saying fucking.
Yeah, blank. You are saying.
I'm not saying
maple nut butter.
I'm not saying maple blank. I'm not saying it.
Jesus. Oh, look at he's just drinking that maple nut butter like it's look at that, just going down perfectly.
It's so good when it hits your lips.
So good. It just hits his lips like maple nut butter like there's no tomorrow. Right?
You haven't lived until you have maple nut butter on your lips.
Yeah.
Look at Hoffman comes in. Sharpie, that mustache draws the eye. It looks like a retired 80s porn star.
Hell yeah. I'll take that as a compliment, Sharpie.
Yeah. You gotta know Chad. Like that, those are just love shots right there.
Oh, so. No, I love Chad, and obviously Chad
those are just love shots.
Chad and his group, right? I mean, I think he was one of the first guys actually to ever really got behind our rye in the beginning. Chad probably knows how many barrels he's done with us, but it's been quite a few. That's for darn sure. Definitely for a group his size, which is a little more, his group's a little more regulated, if you will. But it's funny, you guys keep saying nut butter. My dog's ears keep perking up because her name's Butternut. So,
I remember when you first got Butternut. She was a pup. Yeah. Let's see Butternut. Let's see how. Oh,
look at Butternut. That's awesome.
Look at Butternut.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, Butternut.
It doesn't like being on camera.
Oh man.
Hey, Butternut. Butternut. You want some whiskey? Butternut.
Yeah, well.
Look at those big eyes.
She's more of a beer drinker.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. She kind of looks like, hey, where's mom? Actually,
she's a pretty adorable corgi, I gotta say.
Yeah, but she is looking a little scared of dad right now. More of like, where's mom at this point?
Don Prince said it best. That is exactly what I imagine as a butternut dog.
She's a sweetheart. So yeah, that's right. Did we just get her when you guys were up here?
Yeah, she would. Yeah, just like I don't even think she was 1 year old at the time.
Oh, because she just turned 2, so sounds about right.
Just over.
Yeah, the first round of picks we did with you when we did the Black Forest Bugaboo and the Mojito. That's when you first got her. You had it for a little bit, but she was a pup.
Yeah, just a little pup.
Yeah, now she's. I don't know. I'm gonna get yelled at when mom gets home because she was like, "That said she's fat." Yeah, you're not fat. You're just hustling.
Oh, you're not fat.
I'm not fat. I'm festively plump.
Yeah,
exactly.
She does miss mom. She's been quite lethargic the last 4 days.
She's a mama's girl.
Oh yeah. Beth works from home, so she's home all the time with her. I'm always on the road, and then she's like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah, I'm probably like, "Who's this stranger with a mustache? This is really weird."
Yeah, it's like I said, you got to do it for the bachelor party. You got to do it for the boys. And I even though I'm 40, it takes me I've been trying to grow this thing for 3-4 weeks now.
I thought you were going to say 3 to 4 years.
I had 2. the rest of my boys from high school, it's like, I'm pretty sure I went through puberty at like age 36. So the nice thing is I still have all my hair, and I'm doing all right. But
you're doing all right, man. You're pretty good.
I can't grow facial hair to save my life, so I'm sure everybody will show up with nice thick stashes, and this is what I'm working with. We're heading up to Plover tomorrow or Thursday.
That's a good looking stash right there. Like on the Poncherello scale, that's probably like a C+.
Yeah.
So all right. So
anyway.
as far as the ryes, what so Whiskey Uncensored. So Ben is in the house. He's asking, so what donut would be the rye? I think we're landed on the maple nut pecan donut for the bourbon.
You just can't do it, can you? You just can't do it.
I can't do it.
The guy just keeps adding words to the whole thing.
I'm gonna just say maple pecan. So
all right, maple. All right, sounds like there's gonna be a compromise here. Is what
the rye. Like. The rye, though, man, for the type of donut that one's gonna be. What do you think, Scotty? 1640.
All right, let me think about this one here for a
second.
That
is just it's weird. It's kind of a mix of some of the previous donuts we've done, which is kind of interesting. It's minty, it's orangey. Super sweet.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's like a corgi donut.
The corgi nut.
Yeah, the butternut rye. Oh man.
You know that is buttery. I might say that's like
you know what? Justin will know what this is. This is a little bit of a puchki.
A what?
Little bit of a puchki.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, you guys gotta look it up. Come on, Dustin, you gotta help me out here. You don't know what that is?
How am I supposed to know what this is?
Puchki.
What's the hell's a puchki?
I have a geography degree from
a little bit of a puchki.
A what?
Oh man, come on! Somebody help me out in the chat. Somebody will back me up here. I wish Deathless Dogs was here right now.
Is that like are you talking about a pakski?
No, puchki. Yeah, puchki.
The Polish donut?
Yeah, puchki.
Why would I know what that is?
It's a little bit of a Wisconsin thing.
My parents were not hotel owners in the Dells.
Jesus.
How is a Polish donut a Wisconsin thing?
We get just go down to like Kenosha and Racine. That's like a huge.
I swear to God, area. Scott will pull anything and say it's a Wisconsin thing.
Oh no! Oh, here we go. Look at puchki. Hey, listen, you two freaking buffoons. Look at right here. Puchki. Hey.
Oh, a punchki.
No, it's not a punchki. It's a punchki.
He's saying punchki.
It's not punchki. It's puchki.
It's a Wisconsin thing. That's like it's a Wisconsin.
I like that. It's a Wisconsin thing.
It's a Wisconsin thing.
It's a puchki. It's a puchki is what it is. And it's like you get one. It's a little bit more of like there's like maple and like all that kind of good shit.
Oh, like does it have maple nut butter on it?
Yes, it does. It does. See?
It's a Wisconsin thing.
It is. God, come on, man.
I don't know why you thought I would know what that is. I mean,
Eric,
I think we may.
Eric, help me out. Yeah. It is a little bit of a Wisconsin thing. It's a Polish thing. I think David Barron's
outside. I think David Barron's has the best name for the donut. We're gonna call this because of the long finish. We might call this the Kenosha Kicker.
Yeah, let's go with Kenosha Kickers. Let's go with the Kenosha Kicker.
I like that. And do the label like that's on the back of his jacket.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's a whiskey. It's a whiskey.
That long finish. It kicks your ass. We're gonna call it the Kenosha Kicker. That's gonna be the name of that donut.
See, Kino says, look at pushki. That's exactly what it is. It's a pushki, is what it is.
I think you're crazy.
And John Candy, right? I mean, a lot of Wisconsin references in some of his movies, right? You know, great outdoors.
Oh,
I'm looking up Pushki, and it looks like it's showing marijuana. What the hell are you talking about?
No, it's not. It's not that. It's not that.
Oh, the Polish Pushki donut.
Look at Tim spelled it right. It's a Paczki. It's a Polish donut. We have a huge Polish area like down in like Racine, Kenosha. It's a Pushki.
Okay. Okay.
Put Truman's post on the board.
I'm too drunk to remember what they picked. Oh my God!
You know what, guys? Let's just do this.
I think we selected one of the three. Is what we selected. One of those three.
All right, guys. Here it is.
Look at this right here. Look at this.
Plain Street and donut rings.
Plain Street and donut rings. Oh, that's good.
Blake nailed it. All right.
God, that's so
$11.85 is going to be the maple pecan donut. It's bourbon and rye 1640 is going to be the Kenosha kicker.
Yeah, the Kenosha.
We're not calling it the Pushki.
All right, Justin, let us know whenever you're able to. Let us know the yield on those so that we know what we need to do on our end.
Absolutely, yeah. Casey will probably have these dumped as early as heck next Monday. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, like I said, if any of these come up, so here's kind of the guideline, Justin. If any of these barrels show up less than 130, then let us know, and then we'll tack on that 1643 for the group as well. Okay,
for sure.
Nope, that'll certainly be easy enough. Like I said, yeah, Casey's been so efficient since we promoted him. It has been amazing. I used to wait, weeks. It turned out when they promoted him, he realized that nobody cataloged the rick house. So when we do a barrel pick and I'd submit the barrel and I'd call Abby and I'm like, it's been 4 weeks. How have we not found the barrel yet? He's like, oh, they're still looking for it. I'm like, what the here? Yeah. So Casey, his first week on the job, literally pulled almost every barrel out of that friggin' rick house and organized it so that when now I submit, and there's been times this year where he's been too fast, where he's like, hey man, the barrel's already done. I'm like, that was a day ago. Like, they don't need it for another month.
Jesus. All right. Well, let us know that. So all right. So we selected bourbon barrel 1185 and rye barrel 1640. If they're light, then we're gonna add in 1643, but that's TBD. So
yep. And again, Justin, thank you so much for the samples, man.
Absolutely.
As usual, amazing whiskeys here from Driftless Glen. We expected no less. So thanks, man.
Hey, absolutely, definitely. Guys. And right again, without you guys and obviously all your supporters and everybody who's ever purchased a bottle of Driftless Glen over the years, right? Huge thank you. We don't get to where we're at right now without all this amazing support and obviously kind words. So much love and thank you so much. And from all of us at Driftless Glen, and can't wait to crack off a few others here down the road. So
after these two selections, we only have 6 more to go.
Hey, 6 more to go. That's easy. Well, I've got plenty, which is nice. And then anybody out there watching tonight or who watches when it's re-aired, if you are in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky, South Carolina, Kansas, Oklahoma, California, Florida, Michigan, we're in a few eastern states, but not too many. And I don't know what our distribution really looks like out there, but those are some of the states that we're currently in as well. But so if anybody out there is from those states, just go into your favorite liquor store and ask for Driftless Glen. They should be able to get it. If not, give me a call. We'll figure it out.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for everything, for the samples, being on tonight. We greatly appreciate all of that. Thanks for everybody, all your support. We're going to be bringing the donuts to you guys before too much longer here. But thanks again, everybody, for everyone for hanging out tonight. We're appreciative of everything. So we got more donuts. We got some good stuff coming your way. Lot of good
everybody,
stuff.
all the patrons that are watching, hang out here a little bit. Scott and I are going to do a quick. We're going to do a quick Patreon only live stream to go through all the details for Summer Jam at Sagamore this weekend. So
sounds good, guys. We'll see you next time. And like we said, we'll have a little Patreon live here coming up in 10-15 minutes. But Justin, thanks for hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.